Hey, me, Callie Carroll. Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, sunshine.
Good morning, sunshine.
Oh, good morning, sunshines. Daily dose of perspective.
Good morning, sweet baby sunshines. Good morning, sunshines. Let's get started.
So yesterday morning, the day after the election, I did a post, and some of you didn't. I don't know if you came at me first, but then you went after each other, and it was just I don't even know what word I want to use to watch, but I want to talk about something for a second this morning, and I'm going to start off by telling a story. And I don't know, maybe I'm going to piss more people off than I am going to support the situation, but I do believe in the words that I'm about to speak, so I'm going to talk about it. So if you guys want to still follow around and you're wondering what that could possibly be, and you're pissed off right now, cool. If you want to stick around, great. If you don't, thank you. Enjoy your day. Love you. Bye. Okay, so on June, let me go back. On June 24th, when I sleeplessly and tiredly and full of such heightened emotions after a night that was perhaps the most stressful night of my life, I shuffled barely back, first cup of coffee, to the door of my son's hospital room, and a doctor approached me right in front of the room right before I was about to walk in and be able to just give him a little squeeze and a little hug, and we had a conversation that ended in such a simple knowing or acknowledgement that my 20-month-old had a tumor in his brain. And this was, talk about challenging, emotionally heightened moments, those moments where you just don't feel like you can control what's going on in you. And I took a deep breath. I acknowledged what he had said. I walked to the waiting room. I cried, and just cried this deep, deep cry. I called my husband to ask for support. And do you guys know what I did the very next thing after this? Completely heightened emotional state. I mean, the feelings, not a lot of people, thankfully, will ever have to feel this. When you get the news that your child has a tumor in their brain and you have no idea what their prognosis is, what their disease is, what's happening, and all you know is that you are completely helpless, and that your world is being turned upside down. Worry, fear, angst, just complete sadness, questioning, unknowing. Do you know what I did next? I found gratitude, you guys. I said thank you. I said thank you for all of the different things in my possible human body that I could muster up to say thank you for in that moment of complete despair. And why do I share that story, right? So yesterday, obviously, this morning, the day after the election, a lot of heightened emotions. If you guys watching my stuff, I'm not talking politics. I'm not talking politics today. I don't post about it. That's not my wheelhouse. That's not my gift of servitude. My gift of servitude is talking about perspective and positivity and supporting people with finding joy through the difficult times of their lives, through the challenges in their lives. So what I did is I did just a very simple post and said, hey, I know everybody's, got a lot of heightened emotions on either side today. Can we just take a gratitude break and share something that we're grateful for below? Because I know that this skill set of being able to find calm amidst a storm, finding the ability to center yourself, ground yourself, and bring yourself back to a state of gratitude, even it's for it might be for something as simple as and this is not simple, but you got a cup of coffee this morning. To connect yourself back to that is such an unbelievable tool and skill set that will support us as we maneuver the traumas and tragedies of life, that I want to make sure that I continue to provide people with this lesson over and over and over again. And as I didn't actually expect this, but I mean, now it is what it is, right? But there were some, I don't even want to use the word disappointing, because that sounds like I'm I'm above you and I'm disappointed in people, but just some kind of sad responses of people who are in such an emotional, elevated, and inflated state that they immediately took that post as the availability to come back at their emotional standpoint, like right to go right back into like what we're pissed about, what we're fighting for, what we're angry about, when that's not what it was about. If you don't want to reply, don't reply. If you don't have the skill set yet in your life, no problem. I pray that you develop it someday, then just skip it. But like also taking that and having to start like a battle in my post of going back and forth between each other, which I acknowledge none. I didn't block any of it. I didn't take any of it down. It is what it is. You are where you are. But I want to remind everybody of the beauty that gratitude can bring to your world. And I'm not saying that that means that it discounts what your emotions are, what you're going through, and what your next step is going to be. Just because I sat there in the waiting room and I gave gratitude for our doctors, that the water deprivation test was over, that my son was drinking water, that he had stopped crying, that my son was getting on an airplane for MRIs and sedation and all the different things that we were going to have to go through, as I sat there and did all this gratitude, knowing that my child had a freaking tumor in his brain, you guys. As I sat there and I did that, that didn't mean that I wasn't going to stand up and have to go fight for his life for what I thought maybe would be a couple months, but ended up being a couple years. And it's also an incurable disease, a forever thing that we're going to go back to the hospital over and over again. That is a fact of our world now. It doesn't discount that. But gratitude and being able to acknowledge the fact that you have some control over your emotional emotional stability by grounding yourself and breathing and finding the things that bring joy around you. What does that do for you? Right? Like, why do I want to do that? No, I want to fight right now. I want to be pissed about things. Cool. What does that do for you? What would being pissed in that moment for me have done for my son, for the care, for our I took the steps, of course, all the proactive steps that I needed to take, right? Got with all of the specialists, the correct doctors. I fought for him to have the right doctors in Texas and all the different pieces of it. But like being angry on a constant state, that wasn't going to serve me, and it's never serving. Being in a constant state of anger is never serving. It is an emotion we have to move through. It's not an emotion you can dismiss, but it's not serving in longitude. So that's one piece of it. The other piece of it is that when you allow your body, your cortisol levels, your stress system, your anxiety to take a break, when you give your body even a 2-minute break by posting a picture of something that you're grateful for. I get it, you're pissed about other things, but if you could just like take a deep breath and be like, wow, what a beautiful snowfall we had. That's really cool. That's this. You know what's incredible is I had gas in my car this morning. It was cold out and I went out to take it out and I didn't have to stop and get gas. That's so awesome. I had whipped cream on my tea. I love whipped cream on my tea. And when you connect to those different things that you really are thankful for, even especially during times of turmoil and trauma and reactiveness, your body gets a break. Your mind gets a break. Because if you don't give yourself that break in middle of the storm, the calm in middle of the storm, that agitation just keeps rising and it grows on itself until you catapult. Like, I know some people right now, they feel like they're completely out of control. And then it's not like you try to walk away from it. You are diving into it. You are swimming after it. You are looking for every single thing that you can to combat or fight or speak up or whatever that is. And I'm not going to dismiss what your process is. If that's what you want to do and go after, and that's supporting you in your growth, as long as, and I hope and I pray that you're being kind to others, doing unto others as you want done to you, and stepping into hopefully a space of light, even as you are moving through that. That's what I'd hope for. If that's the way that you maneuver, okay, but that doesn't mean that you can't pause for gratitude. There's never going to be a time in my life where I'm like, no, I'm not doing gratitude right now. Think of the worst possible case scenario. I am still going to pause and find what I can be thankful for. Just lost a friend a couple weeks ago. You go through some steps of grief and the sadness and the shock. And then I'm giving gratitude for God's light and love and the way he's holding the family. That's what I'm focusing on next. I'm focusing on whatever positive emotion I can bring to them and still finding myself in the space of gratitude. I'm grateful that my family's right here and I get to hold them right now. Gratitude is an amazing thing. And I really wanted to come on here. And like I said, some people are going to watch this and you are at heightened emotions and you're going to be pissed that I'm even saying any of this. And why could you? How could you? There's no spot for gratitude. Your son's tumor and cancer doesn't compare to what we're about to experience. Cool. Have at it. Have your comments. Don't care. Not going to read them anyways. So maybe just don't. I'm going to encourage you instead. And maybe you won't today, but maybe in 5 years from now, you're going to get it. And you're going to be like, I guess that crazy ass lady sits in her car and talks on with the social medias, the socials. Maybe there was something to what she said. Maybe choosing to find peace and joy and calm and gratitude, even when I'm in a storm, especially when I'm in a storm, maybe I could move through it better. Maybe I can move through it more healthily for my body, for my mind, for my soul, for the way I treat others. Maybe I could move through it quicker. Maybe I could move through it with more support, more community support, more people surrounded around me. Maybe I can move through it in such a way that I could move from it and move into something different, depending on what the different trauma and tragedy is. And I pray that for everyone out there. I didn't used to have a gratitude practice, you guys. I didn't know what that meant. This is what my book is, finally meeting with a publisher tomorrow, you guys. This is what my book is really like first starting to support, is making sure that people and supporting people with the understanding that something so simple as an emotional shift of choosing to focus on something good, even for a couple seconds, could change the route, the avenue, the direction that your life goes. It might not change you completely in that moment. You might not say like, okay, Callan, thank you for water, but now I'm pissed off again today on November 6th. Cool. But at least you gave your body a 10-second break. At least you gave yourself a fighting chance to still stay healthy and move through this next piece. Guys, that's what I have for you today. Daily dose of perspective. And, at first I was like, what do I call this? I'm like, is it like shame on you? But the things, it's not shame. There's no shame. I'm not throwing shame at anybody. We're all in different stages. You're in a different stage than I am. This might be a skill set that you haven't learned yet and you don't understand yet. And again, I pray that you will sometime. And I'm so thankful that it was brought to my world the way that it is, and that it supported me in such meaningful chapters of my life, both good, tragedy, trauma, challenging, all of the different things. And I'm not going to look at anybody differently. I distance myself. Like I've said before, I'm going to distance myself from consistent negative anything. But aside from that, I just want to tell you guys, I love everybody. I love you all. And I pray for everyone's joy, gratitude, peace, and calm throughout what you're going through, whatever it is right now. Okay. Love you guys. Good morning, sunshines. I'm going to go back in and be with my babies. They were playing hard. So I'm like, Mom's going to be in the car doing a video. All right. Don't forget, perspective reveals miracles. Love you guys. Bye. Whoa.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.